Welcome to the Center for Career Exploration and Success webinar on the Job and Internship Search. My name is Beth Zink and I'm one of the career advisors in the center. Today I'll be going through some information with you through this webinar. I would ask that if you have questions as you go through, please jot those down and I'll tell you how to get connected with your career advisor at the end of the webinar. As you can see by the agenda, we've got several topics that we're going to cover, starting with career management, double checking application materials, job descriptions and how those can be helpful to you, the open job market, tips for searching, the hidden job market and how to access those jobs, some additional thoughts, expectations versus reality, and as I mentioned, the question and answer session will be held in a virtual appointment with your career advisor. So let's start with career management. The job searching skills that you will learn now will not only be helpful to you in successfully landing your job or internship today, but these skills will also help land the next job and the job 5 years from now. Research suggests that throughout your 40 to 50 year working life, you will have many jobs across a few different industries. The skills you learn now will help you navigate the imminent change that is to come over your working life. Now, career management really means identifying newer skills and talents for the market of today and for the future. This is a great time to do a skills assessment and really sit down and think about those skills that you have developed in your classes, in your internships, in your volunteer work, a number of different areas, and really take stock in those and begin to start to showcase those to employers. It also helps you identify ones that you may still want to develop in the future and take note of which ones those might be and how you might develop those. Double checking your application materials. It's a great time now to kind of review the documents that you have, or if you haven't, begin to create them. Sometimes tweaking your application materials can make all the difference in you getting the interview. Consider a change in format, or maybe incorporating some of those transferable skills and professional values in your documents. Customize your application materials to the actual job or internships that you are applying to. What are the required skills listed in the job and internship description? What are the desired skills? Give examples of what you have done that are related to what the employer is looking for. If they're looking for someone who has worked successfully on a team, make sure that you have a bullet point on your resume or talk about it in your cover letter. On the slide, you'll notice some transferable skill examples. These are some of the most sought-after skills by all employers. Communication, critical thinking, teamwork, leadership. Great skills to kind of define for yourself and showcase examples of how you've developed these skills on your documents and for future interviewing. Professional values are important. Employers are looking for self-motivated candidates, strong work ethic, high productivity. Some other things that you'll want to showcase on your resume and then for the future interview as well. Job descriptions. These can be very helpful in helping you with your documents and application materials. When you're considering revamping the application materials, you want to use language and keywords that you see when applying for jobs and internships. This works especially well when you have a target job or job function that you're searching for. One great idea is to get a sample of similar positions that you're interested in and examine them for the consistency of the language and the words and the skills they're looking for. Take those keywords and themes and fit those into your resume. Customize your materials to the actual job that you're applying to. When an employer is reading through your documents, you want them to think they're reading their description. They think this is a candidate who fits very well with what they're looking for. Be prepared to give examples of what you've done that are related to what the employer is looking for. Just like we mentioned with the teamwork example, you want to be sure that you have some examples that highlight how you worked with a team or how you behaved in a leadership role. The open job market. The open job market is a term that's used to describe jobs that are advertised and posted online. These opportunities are open and accessible to everyone, so you're going to recognize some of the websites that I have listed on the slide. Where to find those? Number one, Handshake. Handshake is Miami's online career management system, which is where we put all of our jobs and internships that employers want to post. This is an important site to go to because these are employers who are specifically seeking Miami students. So you definitely want to make sure that you're familiar with it. You can find Handshake on My Miami and create a profile for yourself, and then you can begin looking for jobs and internships. LinkedIn is another good site. If you don't have a LinkedIn profile, I would highly suggest that you prepare one of those. It's great for a number of things, but in the job search, not only does it have jobs that are available and internships, but it would be a great help in your building your network. And we'll talk about how important that is in just a minute. Google, Indeed, Simply Hired, all places that also offer job listings, which are very helpful. A couple that you may not have thought of. One is a professional association listserv. So if you belong to the American Marketing Association, for example, they might have a listserv where they post internships and jobs for marketing positions. So that might be another site to take a look at. And then don't overlook the employer websites. Employers often post internships and jobs right on their site. So it's a good idea, especially if you have some target employers, to go to that site and continue to frequently check for their updates on positions that they're posting. Tips for searching the open market. When searching, don't limit yourself too much by using keywords. You will be tempted to use the keyword search function, but tend to lean more to the broad terms as opposed to being too specific. You don't want to get a very narrow listing of jobs. You really want to open that up, casting a wider net. The screenshot you're looking at is of LinkedIn, and it shows a piece of the profile that you'll be filling out. Much like Handshake, Indeed has a way to make your profile very targeted to what you're looking for. So use keywords and industry and job functions in those profiles so that when opportunities come through Handshake and LinkedIn, you will get messages or notices of things that really fit with what you've put in and described as your target areas. Also in Handshake, it's helpful if you pick your career clusters. This is also in your career interest part of Handshake where you can go in and select the areas of interest. It really helps target those opportunities that employers are posting by career cluster. You can also set up search alerts, which are really helpful in these types of profiles so that you do get those messages when a new internship comes in that fits what you're looking for or a full-time job. Make sure that your profile is complete on both profiles, Handshake and LinkedIn, so that you get the most out of these resources. Tips for searching the open market, specifically tips for international students. You can use advanced search filters to find the jobs that you are qualified for. For example, on the screen you will see there's a little box from Handshake where employers can actually select if they will sponsor or do not require a U.S. work visa or they accept OPT, CPT. So that's a function that you can use at Handshake to make sure that you're finding employers that fit your search. And international students do not need to be sponsored for an internship, but please keep in mind that internships and jobs must be related to your majors if you're an international student. The hidden job market. This term is used to describe positions that are not posted or readily accessible on job boards or company websites. Generally, you need to know someone to know that these positions are going to become available. Over 70% of the jobs are in the hidden job market. As you can see by the screenshot, we're looking at how employers hire in one direction and people look for jobs in the other direction. It's very important for job seekers to know how to navigate that hidden market. So, how do you access this hidden market? Accessing the hidden market. With this knowledge of open and hidden job markets, it's a good strategy to establish some good search criteria and put in place search alerts in the open market. We just talked about how you want to make your profiles very targeted so that you do get notifications when positions come through of interest. But then you need to concentrate on efforts in the hidden market because 70% of the positions are found here. Accessing the hidden market is going to require you to enhance your networking skills. It's all about networking. So building your network is very important. Think about your professional and campus organizations as a resource. There's national, state, or regional professional associations. Job shadowing and informational interviewing are all both great ways to connect with people where you're gaining information and getting to know someone and building that network. Mentorship programs are another great way. Mentorship is a more ongoing relationship that you have with a professional who is in your field, who kind of guides you through a number of things, whether it's the job search, whether it's skill development, whether it's learning more about the field. And then obviously by attending events, lectures, and conferences, which a number of these will become virtual and still be great ways to connect with people. I want to talk a little bit more about job shadowing and informational interviewing, two things that we really do promote and encourage students to take part in. Right now, virtual job shadowing and virtual informational interviewing are still great options. Both of these ways are ways to connect with professionals and ask them for information about their position, about their company, about their industry. Not necessarily asking for a job, but you're asking for information, and you're building that relationship so that when you do want to tap into them for more of a job searching network, you have built a relationship with that. We really encourage students to reach out to different ways through family, friends, and alumni, which I'll talk about in just a minute. But job shadowing and informational interviewing can be really effective ways to use your time now in your job search that will pay off in the long run. Next slide on accessing the hidden job market talks about using your network. These are a number of groups of individuals that could be very helpful. If you have not contacted your faculty or staff members that you're close with, to let them know about your situation. Where are you in the job search or internship search? What are you looking for? This is a great time to really let them know in case they have any connections or ideas for you. Miami alumni. Miami alumni are very loyal, and they're very helpful. In fact, one of the items on the screen talks about the Miami Alumni Connect, which is a program where alumni have signed up specifically to give Miami students career information. This is a group of alumni who want to connect with you virtually to talk about anything from choosing a minor, job searching, resume critiques, informational interviewing, sharing networks with you, you name it. They have signed up to give this kind of career information to students. You can find this by going to the Miami website and just searching for Miami Alumni Connect. You fill out a brief profile to meet these individuals, and then you select how you'd like to interact with them and what types of questions you might have for them. So it's a great way to broaden that network of Miami alumni who are actually waiting to hear from you. You don't want to forget about your peers, your family members, letting them all know what you're looking for. Spread the word. That's always a great way to find out. You never know who might know someone at a company that you're targeting and be able to connect you quickly. And then LinkedIn. I mentioned the Miami Alumni Connect, which is a great option, but LinkedIn also has a number of Miami alumni, I believe 150,000 or over of Miami alumni who are in that connection, and it's a great way to connect with them as well, both by major, by career field, industry, geographic location. One of the best pieces of advice, though, that I can give you in this search is to continue searching until you've received or accepted an offer. So many times you'll stop as soon as you might get an interview and think this is going to go well and end well, and then the interview process takes a few weeks. By the end of those weeks, you find out maybe it didn't go the way you wanted it to, and you've lost valuable time. So using both the open market and the hidden market, I would really encourage you to keep that search, keep those connections going. Even if you start to get those interviews, you want to keep that momentum going so that if it doesn't work out, you haven't lost that valuable time. Global opportunities. Going global is another tool students can utilize for researching opportunities both domestically and abroad. This is a resource that you can find on the Center for Career Exploration and Success website under Resources. You simply need your Miami login information to access this site. What you'll find are different career guides for cities within the state. So if you are looking for opportunities in Dallas, there will be a button you can click on to get resources that are just for the Dallas area. And you will also get country and international city guides, so you can do the same in that respect. The international sites are really nice if you're interested in going that direction, because it gives you not only some job search information, companies that are hiring, but it also talks a little more about their resumes and their documents that they use, which are different than the US. So you'll want to check that out if you're looking at an international search. This site also has both jobs and internships, so you can search by internship, job, and location and find the ones that are listed there. So this might open up some of your opportunities. And then for international students, I think a really nice addition to this is that you are able to access the H-1B plus database to see companies that do offer the H-1B visas. Some additional thoughts. Volunteer. I think if you have some extra time on your hands and are able to do some work either virtually at this point or down the road, more community-based, I think it's a great idea to keep something very current on your resume that you're doing that is going above and beyond just taking classes. So I think that's a great way. Not only that, but you're developing additional skills and connections when you go out and do things for the community. So I think that's something to really consider when that's available, to add that to your list of things to do. It's a great way to kind of expand your skills. I think it's a great time to update your online professional profiles. Again, if you have not created a LinkedIn profile, I would suggest starting there. But if you have one, maybe going through and updating it. Sometimes it's fun just to look at other LinkedIn profiles of professionals who you are in positions you may aspire to down the road and see what they've done to get where they are. It also might become a great networking connection that you can connect with them. But again, just looking at their profile to see what they've done, where they've gone, who they're following, just to get an idea of how you might update your own profile. I mentioned informational interviews. I think that's key right now. That's what we're going to be pushing with students, is to reach out to people and just say, hey, I'd like to talk with you about your position or your company. Do you have 30 minutes to chat online? And that's a great way to learn valuable information. It's going to help you in interviews in the future, but it also helps you build another connection for your network. Keep an eye out for virtual career fairs, expos, and networking events that'll be hosted by the Career Center in the future. And next year, think about participating in maybe some job shadow programs or a trek to another city that would be sponsored by the office, and where you get to meet with employers and alumni in different locations. That would be the goal for next year. Also looking at jobs that excite you. You want to apply for jobs that intrigue you. Don't be so stuck on just the position title, but really read the job description to see what it entails and how that might help you. I think it's also important to, when you're looking at jobs, to look at the skills that you may be able to offer, but some that you also would be able to gain from that position as well. And as I mentioned earlier, don't stop searching until you've received that offer. You get the offer in your hand. You want to keep the wheels turning and not miss valuable time. Expectation versus reality. The job searching process will take longer for some than others, so be sure to start early. And it's not over until it's over. Positions are always being posted, so keep your eye on these sites that list job openings. Be realistic. Remember that rejection is real. It's one of the more shocking things I find that students find in a job search and internship search is rejection is part of the process. Don't let that hold you back. Keep going, keep applying to new things, and reach out to your career advisor if you need some assistance with that. Understand that you may not hear back in a timely fashion, especially right now. We've got a lot going on. Businesses have a lot on their plates, so getting back to you may not be the highest priority. And so don't give up. Persevere. If it's been a while and you haven't heard from them, feel free to reach out again. Your email may have gotten lost in the shuffle, but again, don't be surprised if you don't hear back when you think you might. Keep in mind your process might look different than others. Different career fields, different positions, different industries have a different searching process, so not everyone is going to look the same. Almost everyone thinks it takes longer than they thought it would. And learning these career management skills now hopefully will help you in the future with other searches, as I mentioned earlier. I want to thank you for joining me today for this webinar. Please feel free to reach out to the Center for Career Exploration and Success or your career advisor with any questions that you may have from the material. The number is listed there. The email is listed there. I do want to let you know that we are offering virtual career advising appointments. You can schedule an appointment virtually with your advisor, either by going through Handshake to schedule an appointment or calling or emailing the office, and we will be able to connect you with your career advisor for an appointment. Thanks again, and I wish you the best in your job or internship search.